Morning early years, hope you all had a great weekend. So today we're going to look at some more hand-eye coordination and some sort of striking with a bat. Now I'm going to be using a tennis racket, however a frying pan works just as well. When you're doing some of the bouncing bits, I would use the inside, and for parts of it you can also use the outside, so you haven't got the edging to help you. But a frying pan works really well if you haven't got a tennis racket at home. I'm going to demonstrate with the tennis racket because I've got it here with me. And the first thing you're simply going to do is make sure you're holding it correctly. So when you take hold of the tennis racket, you want the bit between your thumb and your finger to line up the side of the racket. Okay, and that's just how I'm going to hold it to start with. Now all I'm going to do is really simple and really easy. I'm going to put the ball on the racket or on the frying pan. This is where you'll need to use the back of the frying pan. I'm going to walk around. Now my ball's going to move around, but I don't want it to touch the edge of my tennis racket. Okay, if you're using the back of the frying pan, it will just fall off, so it works really well. But I don't want it to touch the edge, and I just want to keep in control and stop the ball from rolling too much. Then you're just going to walk around. So I might walk over this way. I might then walk backwards, keeping that ball in the middle, come towards you, of my racket. If you've got some lines on the patio or some decking, you could walk up and down, or if just on the grass you could make a zigzag pattern, or you could walk around the garden, however you wanted to do it. So I'm just going to show you now that if I've started with the ball in the middle, I'm just going to turn so you can see. I'm going to walk, keeping the ball in the middle. Walk in a simple circle, and then go zigzag back towards you, keeping my eye on the ball and keeping the racket nice and flat. Okay, if you tilt it down, it's going to roll off. If you tilt it towards you, it's going to roll. So you've got to keep that racket nice and still. That is your first challenge. Have a go a few times around, then see if you can do it on one leg, just standing still, balancing and incorporating, seeing if you can hold on to it. Try a few different things. Maybe try and see if you can run and keep it on there. Run forwards and backwards without it touching the edge. Have a go and see what you guys can do. Okay, the next exercise you're going to do, you need to be on a slightly harder surface. So ideally not the grass, you go on a drive, a patio, decking, whatever you've got that's a harder surface. You're going to hold that racket, so you line your the bit between your thumb and your finger up with the edge of the racket, and this time we're going to bounce the ball down to the floor. Okay, so you're just going to very gently be pushing that ball down. So I'm going to start by dropping the ball from about shoulder height, maybe just below, and I'm just going to see if I can push the ball down. You need to have quite a flat surface, otherwise it will bounce all over the place. And it's just a gentle motion. You're bringing the racket to meet the ball. So I start by dropping the ball, and then I'm just going to push the ball. I bring the racket to meet the ball as the ball comes back up, but I push it back down nice and firmly so that it bounces back to me. Have a few goes and see if you can do it. You then might want to try it walking around, okay? So I might walk backwards, to the side, forwards, and then back again. If that's really easy, again, try and go maybe a zigzag up and down the patio or up and down the drive. Or if there's cars on the drive, really carefully bounce around them and do like a figure of 8 or whatever around the car, whatever you can come up with. But it's really important to try that, pushing it down to the floor, and the racket comes to meet it, keeping your eye on the ball and moving your hand and your arm to wherever the ball goes. Okay, so your next challenge is going to be the opposite. So we just did the bouncing it on the floor. We're now going to bounce it into the sky. So you've got to turn your racket, so your hand is still in line with the edge, so you've still got that tight grip. And you're going to turn the racket. You start by dropping the ball on and just do tiny little push. Okay, tiny little movement. If you do this, your arm flies all over, the ball's going to go flying. Okay, watch from the side, that tiny little bounce and little push. dropping it on there first and bring the racket up very slightly to meet the ball. If that's too easy, again, you can do it walking around. So I might walk backwards, I might walk forwards. Okay, have a go. See if you can walk around. This one you could go back around the garden because you can do it on the grass because you're hitting it up in the sky. You could set yourself up maybe a little obstacle course on this one where you've got to step over things, or you've got to go backwards to a cone, then forwards, then out to one side, back to the middle, out to the other side, back to the middle, and then forwards and back to the middle. Okay, whatever combinations you can come up with, just making sure that you start by dropping the ball onto the racket, and the racket very, very gently pushes up to meet it. I don't move the racket hardly at all just use my wrist, a very slight movement to moving it up and down. Have a couple of goes, see how you get on. Start by standing still. You'll probably find you have to move around slightly to meet the ball, and remember, tiny little hits so that you're not chasing it for miles, and really keep your eye on the ball. Don't take your eye off of it. Okay, so your first proper 2 challenges that you're going to do leading on from those 2 drills are to see how many you can do in a minute. So the first one will just be that drop down and bouncing for 1 minute. You'll probably have to walk around. You might want to just do it for 30 seconds, but how many can you do before you lose the ball? Okay, the next one is bouncing it up in the air. Again, how many can you do in a minute? Just do little ones. If you do the bigger ones, they take so much longer. So just do a little bounce on the racket. There's your first 2 challenges. Try them both out, see how you get on, and let me know your scores if you want, or see if you can beat someone else in your household, or see what they get compared to what you get. Okay, we're now going to try and combine the 2 different drills together. So this one we're going to bounce down and bounce up, but you keep the same grip on your hand, but you just twist your hand as you go. So start by dropping the ball down and bounce it up. Drop down and bounce up. Notice how I push the ball down and then get the racket underneath. Bounce down, push it up. Bounce down, push it up. You might have to follow the ball round, push it down and up. I'm pushing it a little bit higher when I hit it up to give me that bit of time to move my feet to wherever it might have gone. So push it down and up. When I pushed it down, get that racket underneath to push it back up. See how you get on, if you can do it. If you're finding it really easy, same challenge as last time. Time yourself. In 1 minute, how many can you do? You might want to stay nice and low to try and get them in, or you might then really struggle, so you might have to still do the bigger ones and move around a little bit more. If you want to challenge yourself, see if you can stay in one place while you're doing it. Really watch that tennis ball and watch the bounce to get your racket underneath it or back on top to push it down. Okay, we're now going to look at being able to hit the ball against something. So ideally you want to find a flat brick wall. Don't go near any windows. So I've got the bit of wall there, and then I've got the garage door as well. Please check where you're going to go and practice this before you go and practice. Or if you haven't got a plain bit of wall that you could use, you might have a brother or a sister or a parent that can throw you the ball, and you're just going to practice hitting it gently back to them. Again, it's the same grip as we've had for the previous drills, and we're going to stand side on to where you're going to hit. So my feet are facing across, but I'm hitting down this way. So I'm going to start off by dropping the ball, I bend my knees and I just hit it gently against. Very simple. At side on, slight bend in your knee, feet hip width apart, and you're just going to bounce the ball and swing through, keeping the racket nice and stiff in our wrist. My arm comes from behind and forwards. Okay, so just to show you again, I'm standing side on, feet hip width apart. I'm going to aim for the wall, but I probably have to move my feet slightly. I'm going to have my arm extended away from my body so that I swing through and forwards towards, okay? So I just bounce, come towards it, and it hit the door handle so it stopped. But have a go, see how many you can do in a rally. If someone's passing it to you, stand side on, get them to feed so the ball comes and drops in, and you swing through to hit it gently back to them. We don't need to whack it really, really hard. It's just a gentle push through so that as you finish, the racket face is facing towards what you are trying to hit. So the last challenge for you guys today is to see if you can now combine all three skills, or all four if you want to also practice the walking around with the tennis ball in the middle of the racket. But the three main ones that I want you to see if you can combine are the drop down and push, the bounce up, and then you're going to go straight into a hit against something or to someone. So I'll do this by standing side on, because I'm going to then straight away hit forward towards my wall and my slot. I start by dropping the ball down, bouncing the ball up, watch and hit, okay? Drop, up, bounce, hit. Drop, up, bounce, hit. Breaking it down, I'm going to very carefully, I drop and bounce, I bounce it up, watch the ball and hit through. Try it individually or for the sequence of 3 a few times, and then see if you can do it together. So where I go the drop, up, watch the ball bounce and hit. Bounce it down, up, watch and hit. Down, up, bounce and hit. See how many times in a row you can do it without losing control of the ball. If you're really, really good and you can do it easily, see how many you can do in a minute or a couple of minutes in that short space of time. See how quickly you can get it done. Hope you have lots of fun, guys, and I'll see you again on Wednesday.